Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crunkest show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man in the building, Donovan Sadiq. I got the queen, Demetra K. And I am the 5-star general. Hey, my homegirl Leak you. She done ran into crazy Karen at the the Airbnb. Got me nervous over here just thinking about what I saw in the video. Some of you white folks need to calm down, man. If we about to start giving checkups from the neck on, I can promise you that. Let's get to it. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for tuning in, because without you guys, we would not have a show. I think the big thing, a lot of people want to know what's going on with me. I'm still in the hospital, man. Got to be here. Let them run some more tests, see what's going on with us. And, whatever it is, I'm not coming out of here till they fix me all the way up. I'll be the 60 cent Negro, not the $6 million Negro. I'll be the 60 cent Negro by the time they finish playing with me and getting me back up to speed. Able to law, I'm gonna be able to leap big in a single bound when I come up out of here. I'm gonna be able to jump over big in a single bound. Watch what I tell you. But the thing is what's the news of the day? The news of the day is, and I can't really go into detail because I ain't supposed to know nothing. Y'all made some mistakes with that school board thing. Now I'm gonna drag your ass for 11 months. I clearly get that black education is not important. It's not important. And because it's not important, don't be mad when I go to your open forum meetings and call you crackers, coons, wetbacks, and everything else. When black education become important, I'm going to take my racial statements and I'm going to put them up. You'll never say a racial statement. You just have racist actions. I told y'all don't play with me. And y'all down there with that bullshit, I'm finna give it to you, homeboy. And by the way, in case y'all ain't never knew, normally when I go to the hospital and they fix me up, it's like they put a brand new battery pack in me. So when I come out this motherfucker, I'm coming out swinging. And I'm gonna have you people shitting bricks before the new year come in. Donovan.
Hey, you guys, welcome to the Monday edition of the War Zone. Glad to have you guys on board. A lot of stuff is still going on in the world, and especially in the United States. Thank you for tuning into New Black Media, where you're going to get stuff that affects you, completely you, stories you're not going to hear the national media talk about because they don't give a damn. But since we're talking about people that don't give a damn, the Congressional Black Talkers, which you guys know as the Congressional Black Congress, head Karen Bass, who is a Democrat here in California, they asked her about Biden's picks, and it doesn't seem like, he isn't picking what, it took. If you guys been watching a lot of shows, they were saying, wow, the blacks came through for the Democrats and for Joe Biden, and yet he has yet to appoint black people to serious positions within the government. So they asked Karen Bass about that, and she said, well, I sure hope he appoints a black to the last 4 important cabinets. I sure hope, Smash. I sure hope. Basically, that's what it is. So this is what you do. When you're in a position of power to negotiate, you were in a position before he got elected. You don't go around telling people, vote no matter who, vote blue, no matter who, whatever. Oh, we'll hold them accountable once they get in there. Biden ain't got to do a damn thing now that he got what he wanted. So we told you here on this show. We've told you on several shows. Now you know. Demetra?
So I guess Gary disappeared, but he'll be back. He'll be right back. And so hello to everybody and our special guest, Leak You. She's going to tell us about her encounter with Karen. Dun, 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 dun. and just a few. So you guys, if you would all share this so everybody else can get the information and join in on the conversation. Just to add to the news too, Congress, they ain't shit and probably will never be shit. They still got American people on pins and needles wondering if they're going to pass something. And I want to say this too. I know everybody blames the Republicans, and the Republicans are douchebags too. But Nancy Pelosi, she really wanted to, make a grand gesture. She runs the House. They can draft up a bill, put it on the Senate floor, and then say now it's truly in the court of the Senate, which is ran by the Republicans. But she won't do that. You have to ask yourself why. But they're, especially like in places like California, they have almost a total shutdown, except for the big box stores. The mom and pop stores are having to close, and he closed with no resources to feed themselves or anything like that. And so it's kind of hard to ask somebody to close and not be able to take care of themselves. But big businesses are continuing to make money hand over fist. And so this thing is a nightmare. As you guys also know, 40 million plus people are looking at eviction on December 31st. And so hopefully Congress will get their stuff together. Gary?
I tell you what, man, I saw the video where Leaky was at the Airbnb, and the whole little situation kind of went left. And whether it's Trump or the atmosphere that we live in right now, I really think that some of you white folks is really pushing the buck. You're doing a little bit too much, man. And see, what you keep doing is you keep running into the good black people. You keep running into the patient ones. You've yet to run into me. Because if you pull that shit on me, man, I swear to God, I'm going to slap your grill out your mouth. So, Leak, you tell the people what happened with you at the Airbnb.
The most craziest experience I've ever went through, honestly. And I appreciate you having me on. Much respect to you, General, as always. Basically what happened is I was laying down. I wasn't really feeling too well. It was an afternoon, and we heard a knock on the door. This particular room was a bit of a private unit with a private entry, so there was really no reason to ever see the host at this property. But she knocks on the door and she starts asking us, we're not even really asking, just accusing us of having two of her luxurious linens, towels. We supposedly had 2 towels that belonged to her, and she needed to launder them because she had another room for another guest. And we were like, we don't have your towels. They're in the bin in the bathroom where we put them. We don't have your towels. It went from 2 towels to 3 towels to then we had 5 towels all of a sudden. And she said she was going to charge me $35 a piece per towel for 5 towels that I didn't even have. And then I let her know I was recording the conversation at that point, and she backed away. And I called Airbnb up, and I'm like, this woman, we got in an argument over these towels. I'm feeling real uncomfortable. This woman thinks we have towels. I even offered to let the woman come search the room if she wanted to do that. She didn't take me up on that. She started texting me in the Airbnb app, sending me messages. And at this point, I'm talking to Airbnb. So I get Airbnb on the phone, and essentially they gave me 2 options. One, we could continue our stay there, which would have been 2 additional days, or we could get a refund for those 2 additional days, and we could go ahead and check out of her property. We elected to check out of her property, immediately. We weren't pleased anyway. Airbnb is one of those things when you reserve, you don't get a refund once you have entered into it. So I felt got from the beginning anyway, because it was not what she was listing. It didn't look anything like it. It was a total gimmick. And I found out she is an artist. So she's a photographer, and she knows how to take really good photos. And it just added to that. So I told Airbnb we wanted to check out. And I guess it made her upset. I'm not sure. I honestly think there was some racism involved with the whole situation. But needless to say, Bill says hi, by the way, General. We're getting all of our stuff. We're getting it packed into the truck. And all of a sudden, bam, she flings the door open. And I started the video. And that's where the video picks up, where you see her immediately walk to the closet. And then she started accusing us of taking sheet sets. She was asking where her pillowcases were, asking where a comforter set was. And typically in an Airbnb, if there are linens in the closet, like an extra blanket or something like that, you use that if you need to. And her room was cold. So we had to have a portable heater at night and an extra thick UGG blanket that we were using that had to come out of the closet. And she made a big deal about that. And then she started taking the sheets off the bed, and we still had stuff on the bed. We were almost done, but not quite. And she went crazy. She went buck crazy on me. She literally ran up in my face. I had to push her back with my forearm. I was looking down on her. And I felt at the time, it's like I'm in this white woman's house. I'm in the cliff. And it's like I don't want to have to pay to get out of legal trouble. You know, I just really don't want to be in this situation right now. And I could have easily started, you know, whopping and going. I probably would have if she would have ran up on me again, honestly. But we just was trying to get our stuff. We were trying to get logged out of that TV with my accounts. We just want to get the hell out of there. And the video has gone viral. And today I found out that Airbnb is punishing me for that as well. I just found this out a few hours ago, which is why I'm in a hotel, because they made us cancel our current reservation. So I'm being punished as well now for this lady's crazy behavior. And I don't know. They keep saying that I breached some terms of service. I don't know what terms I breached. I had their permission to check out. They refunded me. The refunds already went through. And now I guess I'm not going to be on Airbnb anymore. So I have to use something else. I don't know yet. I'm still trying to find and figure all this out and understand why I'm being punished for this incident. That's the gist of what happened. It's crazy. It's nuts. And I feel really violated.
Donovan?
So sorry about that. Yeah, but so I mean, all this stuff has just now happened, and you know, you've gone viral and all this other stuff. You know, with what's going on, you definitely don't want to spend any money you don't have to, because everybody needs to conserve every penny that they have. But you deserve to have a nice vacation or a getaway as well too. So at this point, with what this lady has done, what course of action are you considering? I know you wanted just to leave the situation, but at this point, it seems like they're trying to escalate on you in a way that, you know, you don't really want to financially get involved with. It's almost like I call it a Trump move. You sue people because you know that financially they don't have the wherewithal to stay in court like they would. So you know, what do you think that your next course would be?
I think my next course right now is to get a full understanding of what Airbnb's stance is as far as my account is concerned, what they're going to come back and say, because they have not given me any full terms yet as far as why I had to cancel my reservation today, why they're saying that I've breached their terms of service. And I want that woman's listing to come off of Airbnb. That woman should not be hosting. She's not fit to host an Airbnb. A big problem was access to the kitchen. Generally, in an Airbnb, you will have access to the kitchen. other than that, you're either drinking bottled water or you're having to get water out of the bathroom. And I made that a big deal because we had to go get bottled water. So this woman would not let us access the kitchen. Okay. And, you know, it just, when it's different from the listing, I feel like there is potential there that I could sue her. Definitely. But right now, I'm just trying to regroup and just get out of feeling, I feel so violated, honestly. Like, I just feel like she's one of the, she thought I was Hispanic, and a lot of people think I'm Hispanic. And I think that she had a problem with what she perceived to be a Hispanic and a Black man laying up in one of her rooms. She called the police on us. It's like, why? We were almost done. Why are you even coming in the room anyway? There's no reason for her to have came into that room. And that's why I started recording, because I was just like, what in the world is going on? I mean, I typically use Airbnbs a lot. I travel a lot. I work from home and I travel a lot. So I live in this uncommitted lifestyle, so to speak, where I don't have a mortgage. I don't have rent. I'm not tied to electric bills, gas bills, none of that. I live as I go. And it works for me. All my children are grown. I can do pretty much what I want at this point in my life. So I've gotten a little flack about the whole Airbnb lifestyle and all that. But this one time was by far the worst experience. I've been a customer of Airbnbs for over a year and a half at least, used them constantly. And now I feel even double kicked in the stomach that they're telling me I breached some term of service when I didn't. So I feel like they could also get a lawsuit too. And I also know they IPO'd their stock today. So it's a fine, convenient time for them. They don't want any fluff. And it's horrible to have a video like this viral where someone's being called Airbnb Karen. So I just feel like they're trying to get rid of me too. You know, I feel like an outcast, basically, if that makes any sense. I feel like an outcast all of a sudden.
So, okay, because that was going to be my question. As so why do you really think she had an issue? And you answered that. You said because she perceived you to be Hispanic, and then she saw you with a Black man. Because I know on Airbnb, for what I understand, is that you can see each other, right? You can see pictures pretty much of who you're interacting with, and so. Yeah, so that answers my question. But what did the police say?
So the police, we left before the police came. Notoriously, Dallas police are sort of slow to respond to incidents. And when I walked out of there, we had gotten everything out. She slammed the door, and you could hear that in the video at the end. That was her slamming the door on me. We pretty much got in our truck and we just left. There was just, at that point, I just wanted to get the heck out of there. So nothing was done with the police. It's not like I couldn't go down there and file something, though. So I have this on video, and it's only happened just a few days ago. And yes, I feel it was racially motivated. I don't know of any other possible reason for this woman to come in with such a stupid reason to accuse us of having some towels. And we still have 2 days left on this reservation.
Do you think maybe there was some mental instability going on her behalf? Because she seemed like she was a little wacky.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. In her eyes, to me, she looked high. She looked like she was like on something. I don't know what, but she was not right. There was something not right about her, and just that woman had the same clothes on that we'd seen her in when we got there. And she didn't look like she takes care of herself. She smelled really badly. And so it just sort of makes me wonder if there's some drug use involved. And of course, that is just speculation and allegations on my part. So that's not fact. But that's what I wonder, Demetra.
Yeah, because, you know, my daughter, she went to school in San Francisco, but before she can get into a dorm, she had to do an Airbnb, and it was a setup. And she too said the guy, you know, he didn't shower she said he showered one time the whole almost 2 weeks she was there. And so it was a nightmare there. And so I'm wondering if Airbnb, I mean, like, you know, what do they do to make sure, you know, that the host is at least, you know, amiable and palatable to the people who are staying there? Because I've only stayed in the Airbnb that didn't have anybody else there. Like Donovan and I went to Africa, and we stayed in the Airbnb, and it was just us, you know, in this situation. But so, what kind of response have you gotten from people who have watched the video?
Well, and just to answer your question, typically Airbnb has like these 4 security steps: picture, ID, and they verify your email, and they verify a phone number. That's like their 4 steps. And then you can become a host. So I don't, you know, and I don't really want to make it bad for companies like Airbnb to have that, you know, to be able to easily, you know, host and things like that. And I typically do not rent rooms. I rented this room because it was supposed to be a private, off to the side, no access, and that's not what we got. And so typically I do the whole apartment or the whole town, you know, whatever the case may be. The reaction I have gotten from this has mainly been, a lot of people feel that it was racially motivated. This video is being shared out on a ton of website channels on Instagram. It's all over Facebook. And typically the comments that I'm seeing, they are appalled by her look. They could tell that by looking at her, she was not maybe 100%. And what drove you to lose 2 days of pay, essentially, over some towels that you ended up finding in the hamper where we told you they were? Because Airbnb confirmed that she found her towels, and we didn't take anything. But it's like, who wants to be accused of stealing? I don't want to steal nothing. You don't have nothing I want, lady. Nothing. I could buy a million of those towels, you know?
And so, and that they confirmed she found the issues, you know, that she was ranting and raving about. They still have an issue with you?
Yes, there's something apparently that they feel I have done. I don't know if it's the video and the fact that the video is viral right now, and the fact that I know they just IPO'd their stock today too. So any sort of story is not good on a day of an IPO. But there's something they're saying that I breached the terms of service. I don't know if it's because I released a video, but I think it's something related to that. And you know what? I will take that any day of the week, because I'm not going to let somebody do some bull crap like that and not expose them for that. She deserves to have her face on CNN right now, in my opinion. I've tagged local news, everything, you know?
I'm going to tell you like this here. You know, old 5-star being sick, but I keep some drama up in me. Yeah, something's wrong with her. She look ridiculous.
She look ridiculous.
Look like she ain't getting ain't nobody trying to give her the dick. So she over there and she upset. Don't have a clue that that's your husband.
Of over
you see what I'm saying? Won't have a clue. But you know what? Where I'm a little confused that if she said you were stealing the towels and the sheet sets, well, ma'am, you can't say that until after they check out.
I know, right?
You can't come in the middle of a stay and say that towels are missing because they are put there for them to use. And the bottom line is, allow this to go on because they bought the money. And see, they really messing with you because you did the video.
I think so.
That's why they messing with you, because you did the video.
Yeah, I think so too. They're probably going to say something like I shouldn't have released the video out, or that I, you know, breached her identity or some weird, crazy stuff like that. I don't know. But what else am I going to do as a fellow blogger like you? And you run into a situation like you've never been in a situation like that once in a lifetime. Oh, I'm going to record it. And I told her I was going to put it on my social media. I warned her. So she had her fair warning. And yeah, I think it's because of the video too that they now want to terminate my account.
Well, let me ask you this right here. I wrote in the comments for the people that comment and stuff on the show are really good friends here. You know, because you're ambiguous, your background, like I said, when I first saw you tonight, I'm thinking, oh, hard to tell. I don't know. Maybe she, you know what I mean? You have an ambiguous type background. Do you think it's more the fact that she realized that, you know, here you are, you know, two Black people in her Airbnb, and then the Trumpster in her came out and she was like, no, I'm not having it because Trump's thing got thrown. I'm not saying, you know, to being political, but
right.
You know, these people are pissed off, and they're pissed off at the wrong people. We don't make the laws. We're not in Congress on a mass scale. But, you know, the funny thing is, you know, when we're talking about stealing, you're in an Airbnb. Demetra and I were in Africa in an Airbnb. They had big screen TVs, all kinds of stuff of value.
Right.
And this lady is going to tell you towels that you can get at any, you know, Target or whatever. And, you know, here you go, blah, blah, have a nice day. Of all the things that she's going to accuse you of, she's going to accuse you of towels.
Yep. It's unbelievable. 2 towels at that then went to 3, that then went to 5. She was going to charge me $35 a piece. To me, I felt like, you're not about to hustle me like that. I don't know what kind of people you're used to renting to, but I have a fantastic history with Airbnb up until this moment, until this happened. And I do feel like at this time, a lot of the Trumpsters are very bold right now, and they're mad because they lost. And
well, let's just put it out there. They're a little bold, but they ain't shit. All that shit they were talking about, what they were gonna do. I told y'all from the gate they wasn't gonna do shit.
It's facts.
So if the best they can do is say somebody stole some fucking towels, say, man, we'll take that. But the thing is I'm just telling folk, whether you Black, white, whatever, be careful how you treat people, man. Be careful, because you're gonna run into the right one.
And you don't know who
you're gonna run into the right one.
Yeah.
Gonna try to stomp your ass down to midget level.
She was already a midget, you know. I was looking down on her, you know, and she was an older woman. She didn't look like she was in the best of health. I think it would have only took, when I had to like push her back with my forearm, she already had to like stumble back a little bit. And I'm like, please don't let this white lady fall in this house. And then, you know, the police come and charge me with something. And then I'm, you know, paying thousands of dollars to get out of legal trouble, money that I'll never get back. So that was a lot of.
You had to watch it, man, because she looked like she had a little smell on her.
She did.
Like she was smelling like Badussi.
She did.
She was smelling like Badussi.
Yes.
Booty, dick, and pussy.
No,
all at the same time.
I'm so serious. I told her, and you can hear it in the video. I was honest with her. I said, you smell like shit, like your house. She told me it was none of my business. I said, well, you still smell like shit. And that's the honest truth. She smelled it all the way from across the room. She was filthy. And, you know, the whole being all up in my face with the COVID going on. She's lucky all she got was the forearm to her throat to push her back. It was good that my husband intervened when he did. Because if he wouldn't have intervened, I don't know where that would have went. It was like she waited for him to walk out of the room when he was getting some of the things out of the little kitchenette refrigerator there to come around that bed at me like she did.
So will you think twice now before you rent from somebody who is white? Because I know, like, you know, when I can't hate to keep bringing it up, it's really the only Airbnb experience I had. Actually, my brother turned his house into an Airbnb, but to me, it was a must that we rent from somebody who was Black. Now, I know it sounds weird going to Africa because it's 90% Black people, but, you know, they don't always own all the wealth. In fact, they own all the wealth. But I said we have to stay with somebody who's Black. Well, for one, I wanted to make sure we gave the Black dollars to Black people. And, you know, I want to be with somebody who was familiar, you know, and we were on the same common ground. So will that be a consideration for you next time?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If I even have the option to rent through Airbnb anymore, right? After this, I may not have an account anymore. after today. But moving forward, those things I never really put in my mind. I was just always so quick to make my booking, never really thinking about that type of stuff. And then this happens. And now I am thinking about that type of stuff. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
So let me also ask you this, because you touched upon, and I want to, is it a minimalist lifestyle that you're living?
Yeah.
Minimalist, yeah. I'm trying to get to that point.
Me too. Me too.
Yes, I love travel. Live as I go. I'll get an Airbnb for, a couple weeks or a month in California. I'll go to, the East Coast, Florida, Washington, I go everywhere, and I'll rent Airbnbs as I go, and I can work from home. As long as I have internet, I'm good. So why not take this opportunity to do a little traveling and see some things, and live an uncommitted life. And if you do it just right, you can actually save money doing it, to be honest. It can be less expensive than renting a big old 3 or 4 bedroom house, paying gas, lights, water, mowing the grass, all those responsibilities I've had to do since I was 16, raising 3 kids. When my last one went to the military service, I was done. I had been leasing a house for over 4 years. I said, I'm not giving people my money anymore like that. Not like that.
So would you say the ultimate benefit of that is freedom and like way, shape, or form? Yeah.
Yes.
Because a lot of times when people hear about the minimalist lifestyle, they think, oh my God, I could never. But if you really understand it, there's a great documentary on YouTube called Minimalism. Not YouTube, but Netflix. And they talk about it and, tell the benefits. And it's not that people don't have money to see where. They're just like, I want to be free. I don't want to be tied down to nothing. I want to be able to just do whatever I want. So,
yeah. The funny thing is the only thing I would say, since you have 3 that are now grown, the grandkids are going to come into this situation, and if grandma and grandpa are moving from spot to spot, they can't come and visit or whatever. But I'm sure you're right. Them out.
You're right. Yeah. That's tough. I do have a granddaughter. She just turned 5. And I am struggling with that as we speak. Lucky for me, though, I've had sort of the same Airbnb that I used in Dallas, a really nice one. And she's gotten kind of used to coming there. But I go there, I'll go and visit her. But yeah, that is an issue I'm going to have to address. So, yeah. But I just keep it honest with my family. They know that I like to live this way. I mean, oh my gosh, the freedom that I feel, Demetra, is just amazing. Not having to worry about that mortgage coming in every month and that gas bill and that light bill. And it's just like, hey, I pay once. I paid for everything I need. I got any, electric, whatever I need, I've got it. I got my truck. And that's and my job. And what else do I need?
And the funny thing is, because you're ambiguous, like here in California, they're really nice places. I'm not saying all white people are evil, but sometimes they'll see you show up and they're like, oh, wow, it's already been rented. But, you could go in there and they might not know. And they'd be like, yeah, come on, girl, let me show you this. And
most of the time, they're going to think I'm Hispanic.
Okay.
People most of the time will think that. But my mom is white and my dad, he was black. So I'm half and half. Very pale skin, though.
I'm gonna be straight up with y'all right now. I don't know who is who. I can't decipher a good cop from a bad cop. I don't know if good white people exist or bad white people. I'm not fucking with y'all. I'm not staying in your house. That's why they call me 5-star. I'm going straight to the 5-star because I already know what's gonna go down up in there. And I just see my thing. I can't take that chance with these people right now.
Yeah.
And if there's an issue, and we just have to accept it, if there's a black and a white issue, and them people show up,
yeah,
man, we behind the 8 ball, bro.
Yep.
We can't take that chance. I wouldn't take that chance. I'm not gonna stop anybody. And God knows I've looked at Airbnbs the way that I travel, and just something always tell me, just go to the 5-star, man. Go get your 5-star, and you're good. But I like to cook, so I can find I can barely find 5-star hotels where I got my kitchen. So that doesn't work for me. So I'm always at the mercy of the restaurant in the lobby where goddamn hamburgers $14.
Yep.
So, you know, I'm gonna go find me a McDonald's.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just telling people, look, if you're doing Airbnb, man, make sure you got your people with you. Make sure you stand with your people. Because right now you just don't know.
And look around the room for any cameras and stuff. Like even now, I think about the fact this woman's an artist. She could have, you know, as picky as she was looking back, she could have disguised a camera in anything in that room and I wouldn't have known. So that's another thing that's on my mind right now is my privacy and my safety at these Airbnbs. Now, I may not be able to go back after this, but a family member may rent one day or something like that. And now that's one of my concerns. And I want to know what they're going to do about her. You know, you terminate me and I'm the one that was essentially assaulted by this crazy lunatic out of nowhere over nothing. And you have the audacity to tell me I breached a contract because I released a video. I know that's what it's about. They're not saying it, but I know that's what it is. It's because this video is all over.
Well, we've seen other incidents at Airbnbs where some racism go on and stuff. And so to me, it just seems like Airbnb needs to tighten up the strings a little bit and let their hosts know that under no circumstances will racism be tolerated. Now you have the video that backs up, well, if it wasn't racism, it definitely was something else going on that, you know, puts you in the hot seat with somebody who may or may not all, you know, been there. Yeah. And then, you know, confirm that, hey, I found my towel. So it's like, what is the issue here? Why is she still a host if she still is? And why are you wondering what your status is with Airbnb? Airbnb, I mean, I've heard of, you know, a few issues and they need to do better.
Yes, I agree. It's so unfortunate because they even, after that incident that night, they paid for our hotel that night. They've comped us. Essentially, I sent them a receipt. They're going to pay that out to me and reimburse us for that. Not that the customer service was going so good. But then today, they literally just canceled my reservation while I was in the middle of another one at the Airbnb I was telling you guys I go to frequently. I was there, very comfortable there. The host knows me well. It's separate. Got a kitchen. We're able to cook, able to do everything that we need. And she was upset because she loses money because they have to refund this back to me. So she's losing money that she could have had for what? Because your image is being looked at a certain way.
She didn't have to lose no money.
Well,
she could have just took your money.
Well, you know, she likes to do things by the book and that sort of a thing.
That is about
hey, I think like you, General. I think like you. I could have easily said it. Let's just talk money. Let's just talk cash.
Goddamn right.
You know, it's not, I will get down like that with someone I'm comfortable with. But this woman, the only, you know, time we didn't even shake hands. Like when I personally prefer to go to a place where I really don't have to meet the person. If that makes any sense. I really don't want to meet you. I really don't want you to greet me out the door. I don't need all that. I just want to go up in here. I'm one of those digital key people at the hotels. I don't want to go to the front desk. Let me just swipe my digital key. So the only thing I knew about her was seeing her at a distance. And, you know, that's the only thing. We never really spoke like, I didn't know her name at the time, except for what was in the app, and that sort of thing. I don't know if I know she goes by a different nickname now, that sort of a thing, but it was unbelievable. And then I am hearing that someone has passed at her property before in the very tub that she really was bragging about on this Airbnb listing. Now, I'm still trying to validate that, and these are all just, allegations. But I have read on her Facebook that she actually had someone pass away in her bathroom tub, the one where we would have been at. And it just appalls me. How did Airbnb not know?
What's her nickname now? Little Funky Nasty.
Daddy Ron. Daddy Ron. She's a femme butch. She is LBGTQ. I think I said the acronym right. And she does goes with femme butch, whatever femme butch is. I don't know, but she obviously prefers to be more of the man. That's obvious just from reading her Facebook page. So,
I use Airbnbs when I go overseas, and like they're mostly digital. You don't have to meet the people. These people are about the money, and they're gone. I was in Vietnam, had an awesome time. I mean, didn't really run into anybody, had no problems. And the reason I'm bringing that up is now I don't, you look fairly young. When you get my age, in the 70s, remember when everybody was hitchhiking? I don't know if you saw the most 70s movies, and hitchhike with this person because they'd hack you up and murder you and stuff. Now here we are doing Uber, and now we're renting home, and that's why I don't want to go Airbnb in the States, because you have a lot of compared to other countries. There's a lot of serial murderers in the United States. So I don't know what I'm walking into. So do you ever have a fear when you rent Airbnb of like things kind of going left?
To be honest with you, not really. Before, not really. I mean, General can tell you, I did Airbnbs just for interviews down in Houston. Found a really decent one out there. And I never ever, because typically I try to get Airbnbs that are solo, where I'm not really with a host. They might host the property out, but they're not on site, so to speak, is my preference. But now that fear is definitely there. Like the atmosphere is different. Things are changing. Race is an issue all across this country. I don't care what people say. There is a black and white problem, and even a Hispanic problem, where there's racism against Hispanics as well. And I don't know what else it could have been. What else could it have possibly been to make her want to come and start trouble over some towels that she had in her possession that we still had 2 days?
Now, I don't want you to take this the wrong way.
No, go for it, General.
Now, you say she filmed Butch, right?
Correct. That's what she says. Yes.
She filmed Butch.
Yes.
Everybody out there know what I'm finna say. She might have wanted to give you the dick.
Not in a million years, okay? The smell that emanated from that woman. Oh, my gosh. I gagged thinking of it. It was horrible. It was horrific. I mean, when I said it in that video, I usually am not somebody that would tell somebody, hey, your breath stinks or your body odor stinks, because it's such a personal, rude thing. But I just couldn't help myself. And I was mad anyway. And I said what I felt. And you could see how far away she was. That woman smelled so bad.
What we got to do is we have to remember that if we're dealing with children that don't understand hygiene, you sit them down, you explain it to them. But grown folk, you just pull them to the side and you let them know, you're stinking, bruh. Yeah. You're funky right now, man. Can you go wash your ass or something?
For real.
Ain't no cut, no corner for no grown people. Because grown people know, look, when you can smell your funk, you know you funky.
Yep.
I know some dudes that they body was straight, but their feet was fucked up.
Right.
You could smell their feet through their tennis shoes. Motherfucker, go cut your feet off.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking to grown people. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it for no grown person. Go wash your ass on, boy.
And she was way older than me. She should have known. Like, she should have known.
Maybe she's boycotting the soap. Maybe her soap is on a shutdown too or something.
Oh my
quarantine. You know, it's kind of, you kind of think about it. You know, like Uber and DoorDash and Airbnb. They're on an app, right? They're making money hand over fist because they just, you know, hook the people up. It's not their houses or anything like that. But one thing I will say is it's very hard to get a hold of somebody directly with any of those entities, whether it's Uber, Airbnb. You got to go through hell and high water.
Cash App.
Not too long ago.
Oh, there is no one for Cash App. That's horrible. You cannot. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, you know, while it is convenient, and in a lot of cases, renting an Airbnb is much cheaper than a hotel, you do forego that customer service, that face-to-face, hey, you know what, I need some more towels, or there's a problem in my room. You got to go to hell and high water. I rented an Airbnb not too long ago, a couple months back, and I was scammed somehow, and it really wasn't an Airbnb. Now, they did give me my money back, but it took forever to try to reach somebody in the back and forth. And so is that
in America?
Yeah. So is that somewhat of a concern with you? That there's not somebody you can, like, you should have been able to get somebody on the phone and say, hey, you know what, this lady is wild and I need a representative of somebody to do something. So is that
hours of callbacks? I mean, I was on the phone for so long, Demetra. It was like 45 minutes, you know, before I finally got to the right team. Then he's like, oh, well, I need to, and his name was Charles. He's like, oh, I need to research this and I'll call you back. And I'm like, well, what do I do in the meantime? I'm stuck here with this crazy lunatic who's accusing me of having her towels that we don't have. And I just couldn't believe how she busted in that room, knowing we were almost out, knowing that she had agreed to refund us the remaining 2 days, knowing that we were packing up and leaving. She had to make an appearance somehow to F with me, is what I felt. It's like she just was not going to let it go. She was mad at the world. And it's like, you started this. We wouldn't even be at this point. It's bad enough your listing was not the way that you listed it. That's one thing. But to add this incident on top of it, I don't know what to tell you, lady, but you're nuts, Ron Drinkwater. And that is the lady. I have no reason to, have any privacy for her name when she's violated me so badly, and has caused me a lot of issues with waiting on refunds to come back in my account. I got to wait 5 to 15 days apparently for that. And then to get my reservation terminated in the middle of a stay for no reason but to say we breached terms of service. Lady, you did all sorts of things at this point that caused me grief. I don't have any respect for anyone like that. None. So I don't know.
And you know what I would say too, just really being back in America, especially, I mean, I don't know if it's even especially now, just in forever, right? We're always aware that at any given time, we could be held, I say emotionally hostage in a situation like that. Because if you're not, Black or, a people of color, some people would say, you don't know what that's like to be in that situation. Like, damn, am I going to jail? And in your case, you look, Hispanic, but your husband, I'm sure he looks Black. You probably, damn, is my man going to jail? Is this lady going to lie on him? And so
exactly,
people really don't understand the gravity of something like just for renting an Airbnb, you got all those things going on. And so talk about the emotional impact that's had on you and your husband.
To be honest with you, Demetra, I was shook for like 2 days after this, to be honest with you. Like, you ever went through something that was so physically draining, you could feel it, like your body felt tired? That's how I felt. Eyes red, felt tired, just like unbelievable that this has happened. My husband, and that's exactly the stuff I'm thinking about. What about this? And, if the police come, and, what about this? Are they going to think this way because of this arrest that happened 20 years ago? All those things are going through my mind. But as far as like emotionally, definitely impacted me emotionally for sure. It shook me. Like, it's like, I guess the best word is I feel so violated. And those feelings were so raw that first and second day. And now it's like, it's turning into anger. And then this happens with Airbnb, who was giving me somewhat of some customer service, to turn around and tell me I breached something and I'm the one that was attacked. Now I'm pissed. And now,
so what do they expect you to do? I mean, because we know we live in a day and age to where we've seen so many people murdered,
yep,
especially by the police, and it would have just gone. I mean, they mostly go unpunished anyway, but especially would have gone, without any indictments or anything, without a video camera or a cell phone camera. So what was their solution? What did they expect for you to do?
They actually, the only options they offered was I could stay there, which was crazy, or I could leave and they would refund me those 2 days. That was it. As far as I'm concerned, you need to refund me my whole amount, because this was not what was advertised. But okay, I get it. I stayed there and you're just going to give me the 2 days I had left. But how can you not have some answer to me by now about why is her listing still up, for one, on Airbnb as of today? Why is her listing up? Why? She should not be hosting anyone's Airbnb, period. She's not fit. I'm telling you.
Have they seen your video?
Yes, they have. I sent the video. I sent it as an unlisted video directly to them so I would know if they'd seen it or not. And yes, it has been viewed. Yep. And after that video was sent to them and viewed, I got news that my account, I've breached some term of service. So I know it has something to do with the video.
So let me ask you this. I have 2 nieces that are black and white, mixed kids, right? But of course they identify as black yeah. People. And one of them went to Spelman, whatever.
What's that?
Yeah. So, but, talking to their mom side of the issue, and I'm not saying all of them are like this, but, sometimes they'll come to me and they'll be like, Uncle, why does my mom act like this? Or what's the background with this? Because everything isn't about racism, but sometimes it's just in the DNA, or it's the Hispanic. So, I joke with them sometimes and I say, that's your people. When something goes bad, that's your people.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I mean? So, in your feelings, being a mixed lady as well, I mean, when you see this stuff happening, and that you have a culture that comes, similar to that. Not that you come from that culture, but you're similar to that. Do you ever wonder, like, damn, is it really this bad?
Yeah. It's pushed me to be like the vlogger that I am today. All the coverage I do, the police brutality that pisses me off, that has no excuse for that, where they are killing Black men at a higher rate daily in this country. It makes me want to fight. It brings the fight out in me. Being mixed right now is a hard thing in America. Let me tell you, right now, it's harder than it was 30 years ago. I'm 42 years old this year, and I have felt more racism in the last 2 to 3 years than I have ever felt in my life. I got racism my whole life growing up. Now, don't get me wrong. Being around a bunch of white folks, they're going to say I'm Black.
Right. And you get it from both sides.
White, right.
And probably more so from the Black side growing up than you did from the white side, depending on your situation.
Actually, it's kind of crazy. I got it from the white side because I was in a little white town for about 9 years. But then when I came to a little town in East Texas, Black people really embraced me, actually. Now, there was always those that she had that white girl, I'm not Black enough, that type of thing. But I can't help who my daddy and mama is. I can't help it, but I can identify with the struggle, believe me. And I identify more, I think, with Black people than white people. It's just how it is for me anyway. And so it seems lately I've gotten a lot of racism from Black people, honestly, because I'm just not Black enough.
And I was going to say that too, you know, all of my nieces and nephews are mixed. You know, they're mixed with whether it's white or, you know, Hispanic or, you know, whatever. And, you know, my man is mixed and it's awful. And it's not awful that they're mixed, but awful the backlash, especially from Black people. And I can't tell you how many people I've actually had to delete and block off my page, for, you know, for saying stuff about, you know, my man or, you know, anybody else. And I always ask them, I said, well, was Malcolm X Black enough? Because he had white veins running through his body.
Exactly.
A whole lot of our greats that had, you know, white blood running through their bodies. So do you discount them too? So
you do a DNA test, they're not going to be 100% Black either.
Look at me. I mean, you know, you know, and we've all got some. None of us are 100% Mandingo, especially if you're American descendants of slaves. And so, you know, I just, for me, it's like nails to a chalkboard because we get it from white people. Okay, whatever, we understand that's just how they are. But then we take what we've learned from slavery and we just keep on doing it. And then you come to, well, you're not Black enough. And then you have some people got the nerve. How many times have somebody told you, you ain't Black? You ain't tell me. Every day.
I swear. Because on this platform, and I see people in the chat that know me, they can attest daily. They will say I'm not Black, and they will literally do hour-long lives discussing my ethnicity. And I'm like, I even went so far as to show a picture of my father about a year ago. You know, last year on YouTube, that wasn't good enough for these people. It happens every single day. And I kid you not, even in the last week, 2 YouTubers out there have did 3-hour-long lives discussing what my race is. That was their content. I think
if they have a problem with interracial babies, then just remember who started this interracial shit. Y'all started that shit. Remember when you used to rape our women and your wife didn't know what was going on? Y'all started this shit, man.
You used to.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't really get off into all that racist foolishness. You know, you whatever you are, that's who you are.
Right.
You know, because like, oh, she ain't Black enough. Well, I know a whole bunch of y'all ain't white enough either. Whole bunch of y'all some wiggles. Y'all some white niggas, man. So I'm gonna tell you the real. I don't get caught up in all that. But them people that got a problem with that, go back and look at your ancestors and have a problem with them.
Yep.
Because they the ones that started this shit.
Facts. It's good to hear the thoughts, you know, you guys' thoughts on that, because honestly, that is something I literally struggle with, being a vlogger out here and being a content creator, so to speak, on YouTube every day. And they're like, why are you even in this sector? Why are you even covering our stories? I'm like, are you kidding me? Because I want to, because I'm driven to. Why does it matter? You know,
and you know, they to Sean King every day.
Yeah.
Wow, he's not a Black man. He's lying about being, and it's like, you know, being Black is just dope, right? But who would take that cross to bear?
Right.
Cross to bear, especially being Black in America. Who would take that cross to bear if they didn't need to? You know what I mean? So I like I said, I'm one of those people. I ain't gonna deal with you. I'm a delete and block you and all that. I'm not even gonna have that argument with you.
Yeah.
I really think it should be an argument. It shouldn't be us even sitting there entertaining it, because it makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense. The same way that we're not 100% African American, we're not 100% African. I want to see how many of these motherfuckers are actually Anglo.
Yeah.
You mixed up too, motherfucker. You got a whole bunch of shit up in your bloodline.
Yep.
But because you're not 100% black, or you don't have the pigmentation, then you ain't shit.
Basically.
See, Sean King he don't answer that right. Because somebody could look at Monroe. Well, Monroe, we know you all black. Look how dark you is. You can suck my interracial dick. That's what you could do. On the real, bruh. Because I'm not gonna sit here and play this game with you. People that do that, they don't have subject matter. They don't have content.
There you go.
Where they gotta sit there for 3 hours and talk about your pigmentation.
Yeah.
There's enough shit going on to be worried about somebody's pigmentation.
I know. It's crazy. It's nuts. Like sometimes I'll just say, I'm enjoying the show like you guys. Like there's nothing to see here. I mean, what am I to say to all of that? I'm not going to sit here and justify any, like, I wish I wouldn't have even showed that photo of my father a year ago, but obviously it didn't have an impact anyway. Why am I going to sit here and like try to justify to these people that don't know me, who, you know, that my father's black and my mom's white? Why is it an issue for them anyway? It's kind of where I'm at with that at this point. Like, you know, it's crazy. And the Anglo interloper term that keeps getting thrown around, whatever the heck that is, I'm not an Anglo interloper. I've been called that. I don't know. Like, I'm just mixed, man. And it's tough. It's just like, it's hard to be black in America right now. And I can understand and respect that. And it's really good when people can understand it's hard to be mixed in America too right now. Like, how can I possibly?
I think it's harder right now to be a racist white motherfucker in America because your shit ain't panning out right, huh?
No, it's not. It is not. Not anymore.
Final thoughts, Mr. Donovan.
Well, my final thoughts are, Miss Leak, I thank you for coming on the show. You're always welcome to come back. But like I said, Airbnbs in the United States, I'm worried about serial killers.
Hitchhikers.
But I'm going to give you this advice. And I know you've been thinking about it and stuff. I love the way you travel. I love your minimalism. I love your spirit. But you got them grandbabies. So grandma and grandpa need to find someplace stable where all the grandkids can meet. Maybe go to Hawaii or something and just kind of move it every year. I don't know. But,
I like that.
Yeah. But, God forbid that this ever happens to you again. Don't let it discourage you too much. But everybody out there, you need to do exactly what she did when things like this come in. Sometimes you got to take matters into your own hands, but videotape it. Get your cameras out and show what is going on before you give them the 2-piece. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, Ms. Demetri.
Well, I hope you're successful in everything that you're trying to accomplish with Airbnb, which leads me to my last question. Are you thinking about a lawsuit?
I am, yes. Yep. Against her, the host, and Airbnb. So we'll see what they got to say about whatever breach of terms of service I supposedly did, which just happened to happen after this video got dropped. So I don't know what possible term of service I would have breached by videotaping an incident between me and someone who's attacking me. So,
my final thoughts are simple. If you're going to have an Airbnb property, wash your ass. Nobody won't come there and you smelling like booty, dick, and pussy.
Facts.
But please wash your ass, man. It's imperative that you wash your ass. See, that's y'all instead of telling people wash their hand. They need to wear their mask. Some of y'all need an ass mask because you just funky. From the front to the back, from the rooter to the tutor, you just funky and you rent out funky rooms. That's how they catch the COVID. I told y'all so many people got the craft, man. Say, man, another spirited discussion.
Yes.
From the best in the business. I want to thank my good friend Donovan Sadiq, the Queen Demetri K, my sister in the struggle Leak You, and I am the 5-star general. Until tomorrow, Wash your ass.
Yeah.